the beautiful Church of Boston in scenic downtown Fenway District of Boston, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, I even have an assistant with me tonight. Could you give a big welcome for Martin? So you like the jacket? Jacket look okay? Yeah. Hey, you know what this jacket's made out of? This jacket, that's right, girls. This jacket's made out of boyfriend material. That's what I'm talking about. I'd like to bring up our first performer. You may have seen her playing on the street in Harvard Square. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm talking about Soleil. Would you please welcome her to the stage with a warm Boston welcome? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Soleil.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome to Happiness in the City. This is Barbara, and today I'd like to focus on a very important topic about the meaning and nature of who are customers. This topic became extremely important in our recent conversations about internet, because internet and World Wide Web are very unique in the history of mankind. But they are treated as if they were a typical business like other businesses, but they are not. And the reason is because of the nature of customers that are connected to internet. So that topic is extremely important for any discussions and any ways of understanding the nature of internet, so that it continues for hundreds of years without the need to be treated like institutions that do not have the capacity that internet has in terms of customers. To make it beautiful and orderly, let's look at the encyclopedia. I like to consult Wikipedia. They have amazing vocabulary, amazing definitions. And here you see in Wikipedia, customer. In sales, commerce, and economics, a customer, sometimes known as a client, buyer, or purchaser, is the recipient of a good, service, product, or an idea obtained from a seller, vendor, or supplier via financial transaction or exchange for money or some other valuable consideration. An ultimate etymology of client may imply someone merely inclined to do business, whereas a purchaser procures goods or services on occasion, but a customer customarily or habitually engages in transactions, historically the collection of tolls or taxes. See the dictionary etymology of customer. Such distinctions have no contemporary semantic weight. So you see in this definition from Wikipedia, and all of you who have access to search engines, consult the dictionaries. It's a very important term to understand and have clarity for today's purposes. So, internet created a complex notion of customers because it is available to everybody on earth. There are different ways to access internet, but everybody on earth has potential to be a customer of internet. Once you are within internet, amazing situation happens. Everybody is a customer. Everybody who has a website is a customer of internet. But at the same time, a lot of customers within internet become providers for internet, like Google. So we have to understand the notion of what value customers receive from Google, who is also a customer but is a provider of amazing information. There is some misunderstanding about the nature of Google's openness to everybody on Earth. In other words, Google, as a unique organization, provides opportunity for everybody to become Google's customer. The same with Bing or Yahoo, or there are some other organizations that provide that access to everybody. But on internet, there are many who don't provide access to everybody. They are very limited. And usually those are ignored because of their limited nature. Now Google became open to everybody freely. It's a very unique organization in this way, and it is possible for Google to do because of the advertising business of Google, which finances that free access. Without it, there would be no way to have what we have today as access to knowledge on Google, on YouTube, on many other similar organizations that provided that access to knowledge to the entire mankind. So everybody on Earth is actual or potential customer of Google for free. That created a platform that is beloved by everybody. So the fact that Google organized itself to access of information available to everybody is a very unique feature of that organization. There are some other organizations similar to it, but I will focus on Google because it is the most popular one. And the reason it is the most popular one is because it's so excellent. So when we have a situation today that some people want to regulate it, they want to treat that organization of internet as if it is like a brick and mortar store, and it isn't. Brick and mortar store has limited customer base. You have to have money to come in to the store and get goods and services. On internet, you don't have to have money to access it. That's free. And the payment for the connection to internet is connected with telecommunication agencies, but you can access it freely through wireless. And once you're on internet, if you Google something, it's free knowledge. So this allows educational service to mankind that is of priceless proportions. It became world treasure because of that access to free information. You can Google just about anything. There's an article about it, there's knowledge, there are links, there's huge educational activity on YouTube, there's huge educational activity on all websites. And this allowed amazing opportunities for people from diverse social groups, from diverse national groups, from diverse tribes to learn about each other. So it has a very peaceful foundation. The legal system understood this nature of internet from the beginning. So it allowed the platforms to function in this very free highway manner, and that allowed internet to develop in ways that are magnificent. Now, instead of praising internet for this and praising Google for showing the way of how to do it to all of us, there seems to be an attempt to narrow the customer base of internet and search engines to a very limited group of people, and that would mean destruction of internet. Don't kid yourself, because the very idea of internet is that free access for everybody on earth. That's what made this organization so wonderful and so popular. So people who'd like to destroy it come from outside, and they don't care about the nature of internet. They just want to hijack the money that this way of providing services for everybody on earth created, because then people started doing many other things on internet. There are many amazing industries involved with internet. There's commercial aspects, like you can Google Walmart and buy anything online. There's Amazon, many other wonderful businesses. So in order for the legal system to create good environment for mankind, the legal system has to shield that liberty of internet and nature of internet. That's the only way to continue. So I think that all people all over the world who are enjoying the free access to internet as customers and as customer providers should create shield for internet, that no forces and no hostility from outside of internet would destroy this amazing super platform. And I think that an organization like internet, that for almost last 30 years has created amazing organization, very peaceful, amazing, well-run organization, needs to continue as it is. Because any laws that come from 40 years ago, 35 years ago, or any laws that try to break it up in order to hijack the finances of internet, laws like this would not create peace, they would create destruction. So in order to understand the nature of customers in the context of internet, we have to know how different the concept of customers is in connection to other types of businesses. We have to have clarity on that issue. And when we have clarity on that issue, we'll create stability for legal aspects of internet. That stability is essential. We have had a terrible situation in European Union that first allowed this organization of internet to develop beautifully, just like American legal structures, and then something horrible happened. A person hostile to America and to internet became part of European Commission, and she caused the fine to be imposed on Google in the amount of $2.7 billion. For what? Because Google created a way of accessing information in ways that created diversity of all kinds of advertisers and all kinds of companies to showcase their things. Now, how it is done, the ordering of it is something that can be discussed, but to attack the very concept of allowing this diversity to exist and blaming Google for things that that diversity creates is an extremely unjust way of dealing with legal aspects of Google's functioning in Europe. What I'm saying is that because everybody is a customer of internet, therefore if anybody uses Google, they are customers of Google, they also potentially become providers for all kinds of goods and services. And the discussion about how to deal with this is a business question. It is not a legal question. Because we have to figure out how to continue popularity of this way of accessing information and commercial activities. So punishing Google and internet for this is an evil act. It's very evil, European Commission Commission's a way of approaching this world's treasure. So we have to understand that today internet and internet companies are essential part of world's treasure, and therefore they have to be shielded from disruptive rules and regulations that do not aim to strengthen internet but to hijack the money of internet. And we need to shield that type of access to information, because once we understand how wonderful it is for all people of mankind to have access to each other's body of knowledge, we also see a lot of peace that has been created in the process. Many countries prefer to do business with each other, and that includes business on internet rather than war with each other. So, in order for us to have stability within Google, we have to understand that Google, as part of world's treasure, has to be shielded from disruptions and disturbances that would undermine its mission to organize world's information and to provide free access to that information to everybody on Earth. It's a very noble mission, but it's not a cheap mission, it's a very expensive mission. And the way Google has organized monetization allows this amazing educational mission to continue. So I think that all of you who are in mass media, who are connected to peacemaking activities, should search for wisdom how to shield internet and internet companies from those disruptions that would want to limit the customer base to very few people, because that would destroy the very nature of internet. And we have to have peaceful understanding that this organization is good for all of us, that there is no controversy over the value of this internet organization to everybody who is interested in connecting to daily news, to information, to commercial information, to learning from advertisements, to placing advertisements. So we have to shield internet as the foundation that allows all of us to express our points of view, to connect to each other, to create businesses, to develop our own customer bases. And I think that is the way to continue this amazing organization. I think that money that European Commission ordered Google to pay, that money should be given back to Google and assigned maybe to create more awareness about how important this organization is for peace in the world. I'm against any regulation of internet that would undermine the free access to all customers on Earth. I think that the way this organization developed is a self-regulating platform that has rules and regulations, but within the new concept of such accessibility, because it is not true that internet is not regulated. It is regulated as an independent organization that has access to customers all over the world, but it is self-regulation in connection with regulation from governments that assumes the novelty of this organization as the foundation of that regulation. So any regulation that comes from a different time period, from other businesses, is not appropriate for internet. Internet is a very unique organization, and from the beginning the governments all over the world were informed about how different it is, and everybody loved it, and we still love it. So we have to shield it. Right now we deal with an organization that already has networks all over the world. We have to ensure that internet is shielded from the point of view of its uniqueness, and that internet will not have to live in fear of those who want to use rules and regulations to destroy it. Not to shield it, but to destroy it. So the clarity, the legal clarity that we have to have today is to define laws that are in harmony with internet and internet corporations and internet websites and customers and providers, versus laws and regulations that would destroy it. We have to have clarity on this, and I encourage the most brilliant minds in Silicon Valley, in all kinds of legal environments, who understand the nature of internet to work on that and to create shield for internet from unjust laws and regulations. And when we have that surety of foundation foundations and stability of internet, then we can accept it as a certain phenomenon and a certain organization in our lives, and not to go through anxieties like many are going today because of those threats to internet. So I encourage you to look at the multidimensionality of customer base in internet world, and that we would be able to enjoy the benefits of internet without fears and worries that it would somehow be altered and transformed in undesirable ways. Let's continue internet as it is, with net neutrality and with this wonderful openness to the whole world. And I also wanted to thank you for all your creativity, because what I've been witnessing and seeing on the internet is simply amazing. So many of you have now opportunities to show your creativity to the whole mankind, and I think this is one of the greatest miracles of peace ever. Thank you so much for listening to my remarks today, and see you next week.